In this episode, I'm visiting the Danish island of Fyn, which is located between Jutland and Zealand. I'll be preparing a veal chop with pickles and Ramsons mayonnaise.
Oh, it's delicious. You want some? On my culinary journey across the Nordic countries, I have now reached beautiful fairy tale Fyn in Denmark. And why fairy tale, you might wonder? Well, like a lot of places in the north, Fyn is a treasure chest full of adventures, stunning nature, and world-class cuisine. It's also the birthplace of one of the most famous Danes in the entire world, the famous author Hans Christian Andersen, who was born right here in this very house here in Odense. And this is where he wrote stories such as The Ugly Duckling and The Emperor's New Clothes that have traveled the world and still does. But Fyn is also known as the Garden of Denmark. And the fact that Fyn provides some of the best produce has also meant that innovators are coming from near and far to work with the local cuisine and develop it. So the fairy tale is really the sea, the garden, hundreds of castles beautifully situated around this green island, and of course,
Hans Christian Andersen.
and the wonderful stories of Hans Christian Andersen.
I'm here to welcome you to the fairy tale capital of the world, of course.
Thank you very much. Should we find out what adventure we've embarked on this time? Okay, let's go.
This boat takes visitors on a wonderful journey through Hans Christian Andersen's famous fairy tales. Everyone is here, from the princess and the pea to the ugly duckling. The characters really come alive and bring out the child in you.
Aren't you getting tired of looking in, in the same direction all the time? If I were you, I'd turn my head that way. It's more interesting.
To learn more about the man behind these world-famous fairy tales, I've met up with Einar Stig Asgaard, who is passionate about the literature of Hans Christian Andersen.
He's quite handsome, isn't he?
Yeah, you could say so. I guess the concept of beauty has changed because in Andersen's time he was considered to be very ugly.
Very ugly.
Yeah.
He's the most hideous man you could find, but he looks most interesting. My first impression was that of the ship of the desert, a camel sticking its head through the door. Well, he doesn't look like no camel to me. I think he looks like a tall, handsome man.
Einar has brought me to the birthplace of Hans Christian Andersen. This is now a very charming neighborhood in Odense, but it used to be one of the poorest areas. 5 families would have originally lived in this tiny house, 20 people sharing these small rooms with low ceilings and a dirt floor. Hans Christian Andersen grew up in an abject poverty, but later became an honorary citizen in Odense.
It's quite easy to draw similarities between his stories and his own life, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, the ugly duckling could easily be him.
Yeah, it's a funny thing with Andersen's fairy tales that they develop parallel to your own development. So when you're young, you have one understanding. When you're older, you have another understanding.
I think it's very interesting. Thank you for guiding me around here and
Well, it was a pleasure.
updating me, really updating me on Hans Christian Andersen. I know a lot more now, and his stories mean even more to me now. So thank you so much. Well, here I am in the middle of the street, just outside Hans Christian Andersen's house where he was born. Really, really exotic place to be standing cooking here. So I've got some really nice ingredients, of course. I've got some wonderful dill from the garden. I've got some flower cress from the garden and Ramsons from the nearby forest. This is going to turn into a green Ramson mayonnaise to get that oniony, beautiful flavor that will complement the meat so nicely. And we're going to do some pickled vegetables to go with it. I've got turnips and I've got radishes. And I'm going to pickle those with elderflower. This is the season for elderflower. And I've got some elderflower cordial. This is something you can pick up in any shop, really. And I'll be mixing equal amounts of elderflower, white wine vinegar, and water. And that will be the base for the pickle. Take one of the radishes, and whenever using a mandolin, please do be careful with your fingers there. And the turnip. So I've got my bowl here now with turnips and radishes. It's time to give them some flavor. Elderflower cordial, about 50 mils. white wine vinegar. I'm using a white balsamic vinegar here, and just a little bit of water as well, just to take down the intensity of the mixture. Take out my spoon and just stir that around a little bit. Give it a taste. And this is where you adjust it to your liking. I like it a little bit sweeter, so I'm going to add more cordial to it, roughly another 50 mils. Now that's better. That's what I like. Now I'm just going to allow that to really absorb the flavor of it, and we'll get going with the mayonnaise. 2 drops of oil, clean spoon, and just stir that around a little bit. I'm going to add just a few drops of water as well to it. And then we're going to mix that into nice green puree. You should come and watch the color. We need a bit of salt, 2 egg yolks, just a few drops of water, and we'll start by mixing this. Now all we need to do is add some oil, and I've chosen an oil that hasn't got too much flavor of its own, because I want the Ramsons to taste and not the oil, so it's a regular sunflower seed oil. That's it. Give it a taste. Spot on. All I need to do now is cook the meat and then serve it up with some really nice fresh potatoes that I've got here. I've got lemon thyme here, just going to gently crush that. And just rub that seasoning into the meat. 1 or 2 drops of oil, you don't need much. And then that beautiful meat goes into the hot frying pan. Just listen to that sizzle. That tells you that the pan is hot enough. Lemon thyme goes in as well. I'll be waiting for the meat, then it's time to plate and enjoy. Now that is nice meat. When you keep the bone on the meat, something happens. It's sort of complete marriage. Just works. Oh, it's delicious. You want some? Yeah. Come. How's that? Yeah, it's good. It's good?